Hey, it's Mark Kaufman on Anthology's Developer Relations and Standards team. I'm making this video to show you how you can get Postman collections for any version of Learn's APIs. So here we can see we're on the latest supported version. That would be 3900.54. You can pick a different version here, and you would see a similar page. The trick with Postman then is once you're on this page, you've got this link with our Swagger documentation. So we'll just copy that link, copy link address, and then we'll go over to our Postman. We've got Postman installed. Notice we have different collections here. I've got collections for earlier versions of Learn. So I want to get a collection for the 3900.54 version of Learn. So I'll just go back to my Postman. I'll click Import, and then I'll type link here, and then I'll paste in that link that I took, and I'll hit continue, and Postman does its magic. I'm going to pause the recording briefly while it's doing that. It takes a little while to pull all of that down through over the internet from our server to their server. So I timed it. It took a couple of minutes. You notice that we have a name listed here, and it's going to come in as Learn APIs. And what we want is just to import the documentation, and we'll hit the import button. And also we want the checkbox click generate collection from imported APIs. So the collection is going to be named Learn APIs. So I'm going to hit import here, and now it's actually importing them to our local Postman application. And I'm going to pause again while it does that. Import complete. There we go. It says it'll show up in the sidebar in just a few seconds. So we'll click the close button, and we'll go to our collections. And here's the one that came in. It's called just Learn APIs. And what we want to do is we want to rename it. So we're going to go rename, and we're going to rename it for the version that we imported. Yes, 3900.54. And so now we can click here and we can look at the collection. And okay, here's a really sweet thing. So let's say we want to look at Get Courses. We click on Get Courses, and then this is Postman. We can see all of the available parameters that came from our Swagger documentation. Of course, it's a get, so there is no body. If we look at a post to create a course, though, here's the parameters that we could send. And you see the documentation basically explains to you what you could put in the parameters, a list of fields to include in the response. You can check that or not. And then here's the body. And so here's what your body of your post would look like. And you would basically fill this in with the values that you want. A nice way that I've used to determine what the body should look like is to do a get for a course, and then I would basically fill in the values that I want. Of course, the Swagger documentation has more details. Like if we look at course, we can see exactly what these start and end dates, what they mean. But here it shows you examples of how they would look. So, all right, thank you for watching. You should know now how to use our Swagger API documentation and Postman to get a Postman collection into your Postman. Happy coding.